Shalom Yasharal. Hope all is well. Just a quick update on my little ban for a week. They said I violated community guidelines back in 21 for giving medical misinformation. So they're digging through my content that I made last year, and they give me a week suspension. So I have to post here on Escape, which is fine. And it's not about the views. It's about the view. It's about the praise. So the Most High can view me giving him esteem. This morning, I got up and I ran to the gas station, this truck stop, and everyone was going. There must have been a church nearby, because there was a shit ton of people in there in their Sunday best. And it got me thinking about the pride of this world, and especially this country. It reminded me of when I was a young lad, and I would get dressed up in my best, and my wife would have to have her best on, and she wouldn't let me out the door if there was a little barbecue stain or something on my lip or something, like everything. She'd be over there wiping my face down and fixing my collar and my sleeves and whatnot, And back then I was oblivious to what was going on. But this morning, when I saw all those people dressed to kill heading to church, there was a lady in a red dress with a slit up the side all the way up to her ass, basically. And she was going to church. And that's what it's all about for them people. They go because they want whoever they're thinking of, they want those people to see how nice they dress. They want them to see how much money they make and how they got it going on, like Donkey Kong. They want the Joneses to know what's up. And because that is the culture, because pride is their culture, they're on a mad dash to the cliff. They're suicidal, and they have no idea that they are. Everything is about perception to the world. After I seen that, I came out and I was curious as to what Psalm 78 would say. And I went and read part of it. We're going to go read it real quick. I wanted to let you know, excuse me for getting off course there. I wanted to let you know in my update that they've struck me down for a week on all ESTEEM. So I got a post here on Escape Babylon. And what is said in 78 describes exactly what I was just talking about, what I seen in that truck stop this morning. It's all about perception, just like what you're looking at right here. Do you think it's just a coincidence that they're showing the world especially America, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's lawsuit trial, or whatever you want to call it, or that the baby formula is pretty much gone, and it's people are panicking because they don't know where they're going to get their formula, and the abortion stuff is all over the news. It's all about perception. They want you to see the hoe. And like I've said before, all things are done for the will of the Father. He's laying bare reality. He's ripping those nice Sunday best off of that hoe so you can see her nakedness, so you can see her filthy wretchedness. People go to church not because they want to go serve the Most High. They want to serve their fat ass and their greedy, proud, lustful minds. They want everyone to think something other than reality. They want them to perceive something that's an illusion. Let's go read chapter 78. It'll be posted on Escape Babylon. I tried to put the Shabbat, my Shabbat post up last night, and it was deleted, and I'm just starting here. I'm not going to play these games. I'm going to give esteem to the Most High to the best of my ability, and I'm just going to have to pray that Abba willing that it gets out there, and hopefully someone else will take the torch with me and give esteem to the Most High with me. Verse 1, my people, give ear to my Torah, incline your ears to the words of my mouth. I open my mouth in a parable, I utter riddles of old, just like in the garden when the Most High said, do not eat of that tree or the fruit lest you die. That was a parable, a riddle. There was no literal fruit that made Adam and Eve realize they were naked, which we have heard and known, for our fathers have related them to us. We do not hide them from their children, relating to the generation to come the praises of Yahuwah, and his strength and his words which he has done. For he has raised a witness in Jacob, and set a Torah in Yasharal, which he commanded our fathers, to teach them to their children, that it might be known to a generation to come, to children who would be born, to rise up and relate them to their children, and place their trust in the Most High, and not forget the works of El, but watch over his commands, and not be like their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation, a generation which did not prepare its heart, whose spirit was not steadfast to El. Just like those people I saw in the truck stop. They weren't on their way to go give esteem and praise and service to the Most High. They were on their way to give service to their ass. They want everyone in the church to see that slit up the side of their ass. They want to be in that preacher's head for the next 7 days until next Sunday, and they probably already have their dress that's one that leaves little to the imagination. They already have it picked out. and ready. The children of Ephraim, armed bowmen, turned back in the day of battle. They did not guard the covenant of the Most High, and they refused to walk in his Torah. And they forgot his deeds and his wonders which he had shown them. He did wonders in the sight of their fathers in the land of Mitzrayim, in the field of Soan. He split the sea and caused them to pass through, and he made the waters stand up like a heap. If the people had fear, and if they properly placed their fear in the right place, and that is to Abba Yahuwah, they wouldn't dare consider how they looked when they go in to give esteem and reverence to Abba Yahuwah. That'd be the last thing that would be on their mind. And led them with the cloud by day, and all the night with a light of fire. He split the rocks in the wilderness, and made them drink as from the great depths, and brought forth streams from the rock, and caused waters to come down as rivers. Yet they sinned still more against him, to rebel against the Most High in the desert. They tried, and they tried El in their heart by asking food according to their desire. And they spoke against the Most High. They said, "Is El able to set a table in the wilderness? Look, he struck the rock so that the waters gushed out, and the streams overflowed. Is he able to give bread also? Would he provide meat for his people?" Therefore Yahuwah heard, and he was wroth, no doubt. So a fire was kindled against Jacob, and displeasure also came up against Yasharal, because they did not believe in the Most High, neither did they trust in his deliverance. Yet he had commanded the clouds above, and opened the doors of the heavens, and he rained down manna on them to eat, and he gave them the grain of the heavens. Men ate bread of the mighty. He sent them provisions to satisfaction. He made an east wind blow in the heavens, and by his power he brought in the south wind, and he rained meat on them like the dust, and winged birds like the sand of the seas, and let them fall in the midst of his camp all around his dwelling place. So they ate and were completely satisfied, for he brought them what they desired. They had not turned away from their desire. Their food was still in their mouths. When the wrath of the Most High came against them, and he killed among their fat ones, and he struck down the choice ones of Yasharal, in spite of all this, they still sinned, and did not believe in his wonders. So he ended their days in a breath, and their years in trouble. When he killed them, then they sought him, and they returned and did earnestly seek El. And they remembered that the Most High was their rock, and the Most High El their Redeemer. But they flattered him with their mouth, and they lied to him with their tongue. For their heart was not steadfast with him, and they were not true to his covenant. But he, the compassionate one, pardoned crookedness, and did not destroy them. And many a time he turned his displeasure away, and did not stir up all his wrath. For he remembered that they were but flesh, a passing breath that does not return. How often they rebelled against him in the wilderness, and grieved him in the desert. And again they tried El, and provoked the set apart one of Yasharal. They did not remember his hand, the day when he redeemed them from the adversary, how he worked his signs in Mitzrayim, and his wonders in the field of Soan. He turned their rivers into blood, and they could not drink their streams. He sent among them swarms of flies which devoured them, and frogs which destroyed them, and gave their crops to the caterpillar, and their labor to the locust. And he destroyed their vines with hail, and their sycamore trees with frost, and gave their beast over to the hail, and their livestock to bolts of fire. He sent on them the burning of his displeasure, wrath and rage and distress, a deputation of messengers of evils. He made a path for his displeasure. He did not spare their being from death, but gave their life over to the plague. And he struck all the firstborn in Mitzrayim, the first fruits of strength in the tents of Ham. Then made his own people go forth like sheep, and led them in the wilderness like a flock. He led them on safely, and they did not fear, but the sea covered their enemies. And he brought them to the border of his set-apart place, this mountain which his right hand had gained, and drove out nations before them. All allotted them a measured inheritance, and made the tribes of Yasharel dwell in their tents. Yet they tried and rebelled against the Most High, and did not guard his witnesses. But they turned back and acted treacherously like their fathers. They twisted like a treacherous bow, for they enraged him with their high places, and moved him to jealousy with their carved images. When the Most High heard this, he was wroth, and greatly despised in Yasharel. And he left the dwelling place of Shiloh, the tent which he had set up among men. And he gave his strength into captivity, and his comeliness into the hand of the adversary. And he gave his people over to the sword, and he was wroth with his inheritance. His young men were consumed by fire, and his maidens were not praised. His priests fell by the sword, and their widows could not weep. Then Yahuwah awoke as one asleep, as a mighty man who shouts because of wine, and he struck his adversaries backwards. He had put them into everlasting reproach. Then he rejected the tent of Joseph, and did not choose the tribe of Ephraim, but chose the tribe of Yehudah, Mount Sion, which he loved. And he built his set-apart place like the heights, like the earth he founded it forever. And he chose Daud, his servant, and took him from the sheepfolds. He brought him in from tending the ewes, to shepherd Jacob, his people, and Yasharel, his inheritance. And he shepherded them according to the integrity of his heart, and led them by the skill of his hands. All praise to the Most High. Abba Yahuwah is his name. Don't get it twisted. He's our wonderful creator. And you best bow your knee now, because it will be bowed one way or the other. You will give him all honor, praise, glory, and all esteem. Do it now while you have life. Don't do it right before your death. Good thing he shepherds us according to the integrity of his heart and not our own. All praise and all thanks to the Most High, because we have no integrity. Peace out, and I'm out.
Every form of refuge has its price, and it breaks her heart to think her love is only given to a man with hands as cold as ice. So she tells him she must go out for the evening to comfort yourself a strong